Hello, welcome to another episode of the Short, Pale, and Handsome podcast. I'm your boy, Loy Lee. Today is Monday, May 20th. How are ya? How's your ma? I'm not feeling well today. I'm a little sluggish. I don't feel good in general. So I've been pounding vitamin C, emergency, vitamin C gummies. I've been gargling salt water. I'm doing all of the things that I've been told I should be doing. All the things that your parents say, hey, we can't afford health care. We're not going to the doctors, so you should probably gargle some salt. That'll make you feel better. Salt and warm water, sure. You know, I'm an idiot. I get sick every now and again, but not often. Never got sick when I was a kid. I think my body's fallen apart as an adult. But the big thing is yesterday I felt a little tickle in the back of my throat. Like, it must be allergies. It's that time of year. It's the most allergenic time of the year. It's getting warm, and then it's cold, and it's warm, it's cold. Maybe that's what my body was like. Hey, I don't know what you're doing with this climate, but you should probably take a seat, take a few plays out. But I was like, oh, a little tickle in the back of my throat. Must be allergies. Mind you, I've never had allergies in my life. I'm not allergic to shit. I don't have hay fever. This time of year is normal. My congestion, for the most part, is normal. But I was like, it must be, this little tickle in my throat must be allergies. It's that time of year. Everyone's getting allergies. I must be getting allergies. I'm a fucking idiot, because if I started pounding vitamin C's yesterday when I was like, oh, this little thing, I should probably gargle salt water. Maybe I should get some Tiger Balm, rub it on the bottom of my feet. I don't know how that works, but my mom swears by it. I don't know. I'm not listening to my body. Even though I'm more aware that my body's trying to tell me something, I listen to it less because I'm an adult. I'm supposed to know these things, but I don't. And my wife wants me to be in charge of a child. Like, hey, you should probably just take care of a child. That'd be good. It's like, you can't even take care of yourself. But, you know, the weather's, I think that's what really got me. Like, it was really hot yesterday, like 80s, 90s degrees. It was so hot, I decided to get out and get some sun. You know, why not? I'm going to the equator this summer. I'm going to burn. I'm going to come back like a red lobster, all burnt up and shit. So I was like, hey, maybe I should probably preemptively prepare myself in ways that is not about packing or mentally wrapping my brain around something. Maybe I should just sit out in the sun and try to get a base layer tan. So I sat outside in the sun. It was like 80 degrees. It's like 59 degrees today. My body just says, I don't know what you're doing. You should probably go lay down. Yeah, so I sat outside yesterday, and it was weird because I'm not used to tanning. I'm not used to just sitting in one place, doing nothing, saying nothing. I brought a book out because, you know, I think that I can read. I can't. Just looking at the pages. I think I read the same paragraph like 6 times, and then I had to read it out loud so that my brain, the side of my brain that can read, was like, hey, the other side of the brain, you're an idiot. Let me read this out to you so you can understand. Because apparently the other side of my brain can't read. It can only hear shit and comprehend. So I'm literally rereading sentences out loud like I'm a small child, or I'm reading a book to children at a library because community service says I have to. That's where I am, where I'm above putting my finger under the line and reading. I'm like, I've advanced beyond that, but I'm under the reading silently to myself and comprehending it. That's where my reading level has begun. Yeah, man. So I sat outside, and like after about 15 minutes, I was like, I'm bored. I should probably go do something. Can I go do something? I don't know. And it only took 16 minutes before my body was like, hey, we're burning up over here. Cover up. Like, I was wearing shorts, like gym shorts, and I move the shorts up past my knee, so I show a little bit of thigh. And it was like reflecting the sun into my eyes, and it was hurting. But after about 10 minutes of exposed thigh, my thigh was turning red, like beet red. And I was like, I think I'm done. Bing! Flip. So I had the amazing idea of I should probably get sunburned before I go to the equator and get sunburned. We'll see how that goes. What else is going on this weekend? I did a show. I emceed. I hosted a variety show, if you will. So when a couple weeks ago, I bumped into a Filipino rap group from this area, SNRG, which stands for Some Never Really Get. And then basically some people will never get you. Some people will never get your humor, your comedy, your music, your art. And that's okay because, it's not for everybody. That's, I guess, how it works. And they're like, hey, we do a show every Friday, a showcase at The Block in Virginia. And if you're not familiar with this area, it's basically like a cafeteria with like, I think maybe 3 or 4 eateries, an ice cream spot and a bar. And then on Friday night, they do a show. And they asked me, I was like, hey, since you hosted the show that we met you at, you want to host this show? And I was like, yeah, sure. I didn't know what I was getting into. And when I got there, I was kind of like, it was packed just for people hanging out. The game was on. And I was like, oh, this is going to be very interesting. I don't know how this is going to end. I felt like I was going to have to be fighting people for their attention, fighting the game, fighting the noise. And I just started drinking. I just said, well, I'm here, so half the work is done. Let me just go do the other half. So I started drinking, had a great time. People were listening. The musicians were good. We had a girl from North Carolina. We had a girl from West Virginia. We had a guitarist from Maryland, a guitarist from Virginia, and then SNRG performed, and there was me. So it was fun. It was definitely fun. I'm getting to the point where I'm just enjoying a lot of things. I'm out and about. Let me just go enjoy it. I'm learning to turn off the stress of my life. At least for a few minutes. Let me just go up there. Let me just have a good time. And especially when you're hosting, it really is so stress-free for me. Maybe I'm just at that point where it's like my job is to let everyone know the show's, hey guys, the show's starting. Face this way. Here's a few jokes. Are you ready? Great. Hey guys, the show's starting. Face this way. Here's announcements. Here's a joke. The show's starting. Here you go. Wasn't that great? It's like it's fun for me. It's getting to the point where, oh my God, I'm getting allergies or I'm getting sick. Maybe I should put some Tiger Balm underneath my nose. But it was good. It was good to see a community of Asians coming together for a show and showing support. It was good to see fellow artists and the community that they're building and just being part of it, getting the show running. It was really good to see how the funny thing about musicians is hey, you got 2 songs and they can't really run the light. With comedians, yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes or whatever, 5, 7, 10 minutes. And a lot of comics will always try to get more time. They just go, you give them the light. That gives them the cue to hey, wrap it up. You got a minute, 2 minutes, whatever. And then they just go for another 5, 6 minutes. Musicians, they don't run the light. They kind of can't. The DJ is like, hey, here's your 1 song. Great. Introduce 2nd song. Press play. Once it's done, can't go, hey, can you put another song on? No, get the fuck off the stage. Not that they would. I'm just saying that comics, run the light. Musicians kind of can't. Kind of can't. At least not in that setting. But it was cool. It was definitely a fun time. The Asian eateries are getting bigger out here, where it's just kind of like a cafeteria style. When I got on stage, it was probably about 10 o'clock at night, and there was kids in the audience, and so I had to like make sure it was clean and just making sure everybody kind of knew what was going on. And it's always interesting as a comic to see kids staring back at you. On one end, it's like, oh, I should probably keep it clean, keep the content clean. Let's talk about some things. And then if there's anything dirty, just kind of loft it up into like, an insinuation and imply some things. But what's kind of weird is like, even though you don't say it and you just kind of imply it, where adults, they get it and then they get upset because they understand your implications and like, you don't say that in front of my kids. It's like, motherfucker, it's 10 o'clock at night. Maybe you should not bring your kids out at 10 o'clock at night. What is this, LA? I don't know. But who knows? But yeah, good times. Shout out to SNRG. Shout out to local musicians. Definitely support live entertainment, support live comedy. And it was definitely have a good time. So what everybody wants to talk about is the Game of Thrones. It's over. It's done. And people are upset. People are like really, really upset about how the last season wasn't living up to their expectations. And there's like a petition online. People want HBO to rewrite it and then reshoot it. And I was like, that's not going to happen. This is like the last couple episodes. It was like the last 2 episodes was not. I understand why people are upset. That's not how I wanted it to end. But I mean, I grew up in the 80s. There's a lot of things that didn't end up the way you wanted it to, namely college. But that never ends the way you want it to. A lot of shows never end. You're lucky that you got an ending. There's a lot of shows that just never come back after season hiatus, Season 3 just never exists. There's so many storylines that so many questions, and they don't even try to attempt to answer it. At least in this last 2 episodes, they tried to like tie up all of like everything. They literally just try to cram all the loose ends into one and then tie it up. That's fine. I wasn't happy who sits on the Iron Throne that no longer exists. It was kind of like, it seemed like a really, really shitty campfire story. The murderer is the guy that you saw just once. The murderer is the guy that was barely mentioned. The king is the guy that nobody expected. And it was like, I mean, spoiler alert, we all know who. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you'll be disappointed. But I don't know. What bothers me about the ending of this is that Westworld, which would be the next HBO show that I'll be watching, isn't on for like another year. Like, there's literally nothing, like, there's nothing to coincide with Game of Thrones that makes me want to go, oh yeah, I'm going to keep my HBO login. I'm going to keep on watching HBO. There's nothing. There really isn't anything on. Insecure, I don't know when that's coming back, but I'm not really like, oh, let me keep my HBO $12-15 a month for Insecure. I mean, I like it, but I don't know. Westworld, Insecure, Crashing's done. So yeah, I don't know what I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure a lot of people are cutting the HBO cord, and I get it. HBO, you messed up. You had millions of people watching, and you were promoting like other shows, but nothing was like, oh my God, I need to watch that. Maybe Barry, but I'm not. I don't know. I feel empty inside. Not only was Game of Thrones It didn't end the way that I wanted to. It just didn't end well, I think, was the big thing for me. It just didn't end well, and I was like, I'm left wanting, and there really isn't anything on HBO to fill that void. There is no HBO chocolate ice cream. There's no Rocky Road ice cream that I could just binge watch to replace it. Maybe The Wire, but I've already seen it. Sopranos, maybe I'll watch Sopranos again. And even then, that ending was like, I think that's like one of the biggest misunderstood endings. And I think that's what I enjoyed about the ending of Sopranos. Kind of like, I don't know what happened, and I'm okay with that. Like, by intention. It came to an end, and you're like, how did that end? And like, I don't know, but it was pretty good. I mean, I can see why people are upset about it, but for me, I was like, there's a pretty good ending. Dexter. Jesus, that was the worst ending possible. I think Game of Thrones could have ended. After they blow up King's Landing. I think they could have just, that was it, killed Cersei, killed Jaime, spoiler alert, and that was it. Like, it was one episode too long. I would have been just fine with them wrapping everything up, jamming everything into happily living ever after, right? Or leaving questions up in the air. I'm okay with that. They put too many hats on top of too many hats. One episode too many. Like Dexter. I felt like Dexter was like 5 minutes too long. If they cut it 5 minutes earlier, I would have been perfectly fine. Like, I didn't want to see Dexter, spoiler alert, still alive. Like, the fact that he was still alive, get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants to see that bullshit. Everyone would have been fine if Dexter was dead or dead enough. Throw him into the ocean, dead enough. We don't need to see him as a fucking lumberjack. If you didn't see it, you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Dexter's a lumberjack. Basically is Logan. Or, yeah, right? Wolverine, didn't they find him in Canada on a lumberjacking? I don't know. Yeah, let's go with that. Lumberjacking. What else is going on? Patreon. Join my Patreon account. Segue. Shout out to Asian Flush, AZN Flush. Is it on here? Maybe. I can't find it. Yep, there it is. Asian Flush. It's a party game. They're not paying me for this, but this is probably the last time I'll shout them out. I'm having a good time with them. It is a drinking card game, basically. If you played Cards Against Humanity, Crabs Against Humidity, there's a couple other ones, but it is made for Asian Americans. Made for Asian Americans, Asian Flush is the funniest party drinking game this side of Koreatown. Each box contains 110 hilarious cards with unique game rules designed to help you get your night started. For example, you crack this bad boy open, and you can pull out a card. And, you're sitting around the table, you're drinking, you pull a card out. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to find a good one. There's some that I don't understand, that I don't relate to, but it's not always for me. If you can't speak your native tongue language, take 5 sips. Ooh, I would be drinking because I guess my native language is English because I was born here. So that's my native tongue. But everyone's like, stop being obtuse, Loy. Stop being a dick. If you have ever unironically said boba is life, take 3 sips. I don't think boba is my life. Just because I think I'm diabetic. I'm quickly becoming diabetic. I should probably take that 23andMe thing a little bit more serious. I should probably log in and look at it again. Just to see what my health risks are. But it's sometimes it's just better off not knowing. But anyways, Asian Flush, AZNFlush.com, promo code Loy Lee 15. And is there anything else? Is there anything else that I need to promo? Asian Flush, my Patreon account. Shout out to my Patreon account. If you want to, like, hey, I like this podcast. I would like to find a way to support. Just go to patreon.com/loyleecomedy. Throw me $1 a month, $5 a month, and I'll throw you some, some shout outs or some how do you do's. Yeah, so 20 minutes in. What else do I got going on? Philippines. If you got, hey, listen. I'm going to the Philippines this summer, July, August. And I got kind of an open schedule. If there's something that you suggest that I go do, hit me up. loyleecomedy@gmail.com, shortpalehandsome@gmail.com, one or the other, whichever one you remember. It's fine, no big deal. Check out my website, loyleecomedy.com, shortpalehandsome.com. I think that's what I got. Yeah, that's what I got. When I get back, I got a bunch of stuff going on. I'll be featuring, I think, I should probably double check. I'll be featuring for Augie T, a Hawaiian comic at the DC Comedy Loft. So that's pretty exciting. Definitely check out my Instagram. I will be posting videos, Loy Lee Comedy. If you like it, double click a couple pictures. Hit the follow. Shout out to my shop, loyleecomedy.com/shop. You can find t-shirts and stuff there. And that is how I keep the lights on. I've actually just now been accepted and approved to be a Amazon affiliate. So I will have a link on my website. You can click on that link, goes to Amazon. All the prices are going to be exactly the same. I just get a few bucks, a few percentage points on top. And it doesn't cost you a thing. Gives me a couple bucks. If you're going to shop on Amazon anyways, go ahead, click it. Do it. Stupid. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys. What else do I got going on? Check out my YouTube. This is on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/LoyLeeComedy. I got to double check with Andrew Vu to see if he's going to come by tomorrow so we can do another What's Up Wednesday. And I'm trying to provide more content for you guys. So therefore, there's more stuff for you to watch so I could be more entertaining and see how that goes. What else is in the movie? John Wick. That's what I'm going to see this week. I'm going to go see John Wick so I can have that conversation with you guys. I meant to go see it this week, but, I haven't been feeling well. I've been sick. The wife's been busy. I'm not allowed to go to movies without her because once you're married, that's what you do. You do things together. Everything is double in price. You show up and you gotta do things together. And but no, I'm trying to lose weight. So therefore, when I go to the Philippines, I'm going to gain all that weight back, but I won't be embarrassed having my shirt off. I assume it's going to be hot and humid everywhere, and I'm going to be wearing no shirt or tank top, so I'm trying to get these guns ready. But it's very difficult when I'm drinking. Gotta take the wife out. Wife has a beer because she works hard, and I'm like, I got a beer. Or, like I'm out at a comedy show. Comic goes, hey, let me buy you a beer. Somebody in the audience is like, you're funny. Let me buy you a beer. Next thing you know, I've had like a 12-pack. Even though it's over like 4 days, I've drank 12 beers, and I don't know how I'm going to burn all of that fat off, all of those calories off. I don't want to run now. And my life might depend on it, and I don't want to run. So, I'm just trying to stay healthy because at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? That's right. Okay, guys, if you guys have words of motivation for me to get into shape, if you have like anything that you recommend that I do, I will take it because I need all the motivation that I can get. I feel like I'm just slumping, and I just need to be better in life. All right, guys. Where are we? We are 25 minutes in. Okay. Is there anything else? See, this is what happens. You know what, people? This is what happens when you're not prepared. When you're like, oh, let me just wing it. I got a lot of things to talk about. Don't wing it. Whether it's in comedy or a presentation at work or your podcast, don't freaking wing it, okay? Be prepared. Have bullet points. Because if not, I'm going to end up short. Now, I know that you guys dedicate 30 minutes of your week to this podcast. I should probably dedicate, a little bit more time to be prepared because I feel like I failed you guys today because at this point, I am 4.5 minutes short. But yeah. Let's see. Did I talk about... okay. You know what? Let's talk a few minutes. If you're not into sports, you could definitely go ahead and turn this shit right off because normally I talk about sports. You guys know that. At least dedicate a couple minutes. Maybe that's why I'm short. I didn't talk about sports this time. But little known fact, the Boston Bruins are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's fucking amazing. I saw a picture of a billboard in Boston. It's like 104 days drought since the last Boston championship. I was like, that shit is a little over the top. Funny to me, over the top. Now, I know you guys like, oh, you're a Boston fan, bandwagon. How does it feel to see all the championships? It feels fucking amazing, first and foremost, okay? I grew up in the 80s. I didn't get to see shit, okay? I was 5 in 1985, and I don't remember the Celtics winning the championship, but I do remember the Patriots losing, getting crushed by the Chicago Bears. I remember that. That much I do remember. And then I remember every year since then, it was like, oh, the Sox, they look good this year. This year has a ring to it. This is our year. And it never was. I literally did not get to see a championship until I was 23. Yes, until I was 23. No, 20. I was 21. 20? The Patriots won the first one in 2000. That's right. So I was 20 years old when I saw the first championship, and I've seen the Celtics win a championship. I've seen the Bruins win a championship. I've seen the Red Sox win multiple championships. I've seen the greatest dynasty in all of football right before my eyes, right? And but I also saw the worst teams ever. I had Boston Celtic tickets the year they won like 20 games or some shit. Like, that's not good. Thanks, ML Carr. Appreciate you. I had those tickets. Like, oh, this is the year. We had like 27 first-round draft picks. We were fucking horrible. So I've seen a lot. And I played around with it last year. I'm not really playing around with this year, but it's like, maybe I should just watch a different football team this year. Maybe I just grab a secondary football team. The Sox look good, but the Bruins are going to the Stanley Cup Final. The Celtics are out. The Sox look pretty darn good, and I haven't really been watching too many of the games. I've just been trying my best to not fall down the rabbit hole. Because what happens is this, right? I've got on my TV, I've got the MLB package, so I can watch all the Red Sox games. But what happens is this. I watch the Red Sox game, and then, 3 hours into it, I'm like, let me go watch the Nats game. Let me go watch the Dodgers game. Let me go watch the whatever game. And then, 12 hours later, I haven't done shit, but I've caught up. I've caught up with like every game in the league today. So I'm trying my best to just watch the condensed game because the condensed game is like 10, 15 minutes. And then on top of that it's like maybe I'll watch 2 or 3 of them, and I just watch the condensed game. And it's like 15 minutes. It's broken down. It's more than highlights. Here are all the pinnacle plays and not just the highlights. So it's like 15 minutes, right? I'll watch 4 or 5 of those. I feel like I'm caught up. We're waiting to see if the San Jose Sharks and the St. Louis Blues. I'd like to say the St. Louis Blues because I don't like the Sharks. But it would be great if we saw the Sharks and then beat the Sharks, because that would be the 3rd time in a year, in like a rolling year, that Boston's beat a California team in the finals. That would be fucking amazing. I've never seen Boston do that. That would be a thing that I would like to go see. I would like the Blues to go, but I mean, to beat the Sharks in the final, just say, fuck it. I would like to do that. That's what I would like to do. What else? Did I talk about UFC? I think I talked about UFC last time. Was there a UFC fight? Yeah, I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the UFC thing. I'm having issues. No bullshit. I'm having issues with the ESPN Plus thing. It keeps on logging me out, and then trying to punch in the login on the TV on the remote control. I had to cancel it. I just said, fuck it. It's not worth my time. I don't know. Maybe it's my TV thing. Maybe it's the app thing. I don't know. But if I have to keep on logging in, isn't that the beauty of having a TV that has like all of the things in it where you don't have to log in? I don't have time for it. It's like click, click, click. It's like texting on a fucking razor phone. Click, 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 J. Click, 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 L. Click, 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 click. I don't know what my password is. And even if you get it wrong, like, nope. Fuck. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 L. Click, 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 click. Oh, that's my name, people. Loy. Yeah, man. And that's not even the issue with that a lot of people are having now with the ESPN thing, where it's like you gotta log in and then you gotta buy the thing and then you gotta log out and you gotta log back in and then there's a pay-per-view. I'm not even I hadn't even gotten to that problem yet. I am so frustrated with it. My TV keeps on logging me out. Is it my TV? Is it the app? I don't know, but I'm blaming it. I canceled it. I'll just go to a fucking bar. But I will go somewhere, but I will not illegally stream it. Okay, guys. That's all I got. I'm going to leave on that note. But yeah, definitely check me out. Loy Lee Comedy. Instagram. Let's go Instagram. YouTube.com/Loy Lee Comedy, where you'll be able to see this shit. Once it's edited, and Patreon, Loy Lee Comedy on Patreon, Instagram, YouTube. I love you guys. Yeah, shoot me an email. Tell me what's up. What's good with you? Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.